Welcome to On the Line. Today, I am joined by a very special guest. He is a rising star in the UFC light heavyweight division. It is Jamahal Hill. My man, what is up?
Yo.
No,
What up, bro? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I did not hear you. I think you're
Yeah,
muted or
that's
something. We're off to a great start. Anyway, so first thing I gotta ask is what happened to your, like, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Like, at what point did you realize your arm was fucked in that fight?
In the fight, whenever it originally happened, I didn't feel it. When it first went out, I didn't feel it. I rolled over, and I was rolling over, and I was reaching for my arm. I was trying to find my arm. I looked over, and then I looked and realized he still had my arm. And then whenever he let it go, I think he realized it before I did, because he let go. He let it go. And then he kind of locked up, went to go lock up the triangle. When he went to go lock up the triangle and my arm went down, I saw it. I could see it. I didn't feel it. I saw it. You know what I'm saying? I saw my arm. I saw the damage. Originally, first thing came to my mind is he broke my arm. So you know what I mean? So I was like, oh shit, he broke my arm. So I gotta knock him out before the ref realized it. You know what I mean? I tried to knock his ass out, but he held his shit.
I'm gonna say there was like an awkward moment, I think, when you saw your arm and he's just like, hey, look, the arm's broken. You guys are kind of waiting there for the referee to stop the fight. And it just he didn't let it happen. So he kind of gave you a little opportunity to try to throw some hammer fists and just couldn't get it.
Right.
Yeah. So when you saw your arm kind of, and it wasn't really as bad as it looked, though. It was just a dislocation, right? It was kind of put back in place when you went back into the back.
Yeah. No, they didn't. No, they couldn't reset it. There was a complete dislocation. My elbow was completely out of the socket where it was supposed to be at, and they took me to the hospital and reset it.
That's crazy. Were you sedated or were you wide awake when there was?
Yeah, they sedate you. No, they sedate you.
That's gotta be painful as fuck.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Whenever I started to feel it, it definitely didn't feel great. That shit hurt like hell.
So before, I want to talk a little bit after the fight too, but before we get into that, like, you're doing the walkout, you guys are in the cage, Bruce Buffer's in the announcements, like, you get a massive pop from the crowd. It was like, and they were all booing against Paul Craig, and this is like your first big fight, you're opening up the card. Like, what was going through your head when you get this first like massive pop?
I don't know. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just enjoying the moment. Like I had a pretty good reception whenever I fought my UFC debut in Raleigh. You know, and I just try to bring the show to the fans. The fans want to have fun, and I feel like I'm entertaining, and I bring that fun and that entertainment.
I mean,
so I kind of expect it.
You definitely did bring entertainment. I mean, even though it wasn't the way you wanted it to be, but I know afterwards though, you became boys with Paul Craig, and I mean, like, what was that? What was that whole thing kind of like?
Shit, bro. We got cool. We talked. It was mainly just like a lot of the key shit that was said to me beforehand or whatever, like mainly like some of the racist shit he didn't know nothing about. You know, really? And then he came up to me to address it, you know what I mean? Basically to, you know what I mean, announce it, like, I'm not with that shit. I don't, you know what I mean, I don't support that at all. I'm sorry you went through that, you know, and well, this and that, you know, we talked.
Yeah, that's dope. And then now it seems like you're dope with all the Scottish fans too.
Yeah, bro, even like, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. And this is what's crazy about the Scots. Even before the fight, some of the Scottish fans were still on my side. So they were still supporting me one way or the other, bro. I think they just like heart and they just appreciate true grit.
Dude, yeah. I mean, also you're a good fighter. You're a fun fighter to watch. You go for finishes.
I appreciate my skill.
Exactly. And so let's kind of go back to the start. I know you've been in martial arts since like 2010. And but when you do the research and stuff and on like Wikipedia or like Tapology, it only has like 2016. Like, do you know why that is? Or is it just like they just didn't mark it down?
Yeah, no, because Michigan MMA wasn't sanctioned before 2016. So before 2016, this wasn't a sanctioned state. So all the MMA we did here was just like underground. Some dude bought a cage, you know what I mean? He rented out a venue, he threw the cage in there, and he just threw his own event like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like street beefs.
Bro, it shit was like the Wild Wild West, bro. Like, real talk. You can go back and watch some of Cody Stamen. Cody Stamen came up on the same scene. You know, so he can he's talked about it. But yeah, bro, like, I've showed up at fights, especially as an amateur. I've showed up at fights, dudes be like 30, 30, 25 pounds heavier than me. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I watched them weigh in. It's like, no, the fuck you didn't. And if you did, you're a dick and you're lying. You know what I'm saying? Which to me, it didn't matter, bro. It was just fight. It was just fight. I mean, I feel like kind of like how the rules, how it was set up there, kind of geared me to be ready for anything now. You know what I mean? Because like I said, motherfucker, you never know. You never know.
You never know. What took you so long then to go pro? I mean, you took a pretty long time to get it there. What was it? Just like making the decision, or like what was it?
Well, for one, there was uncertainty. There was uncertainty as far as the rules goes about the sanctioning. You know what I'm saying? So there was no blueprint to tell you like, oh, you got to do this and this, and this is how you get to the UFC. You know what I'm saying? There was not really a blueprint for that, especially coming out of Michigan, because I even heard some dudes got denied to fight in other states because they didn't have sanctioned fights. They had fights, but they weren't sanctioned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that played a part in it. Plus, whenever I went pro, I wanted to be able to translate my dominance as an amateur over to the pros. You know, I didn't just want to go in and just be a all right pro or a tough, scrappy pro. I wanted to come in and dominate, which I feel like I did that right out the gate, you know. Yeah, it took time. Then not only that, I had kids. You know, I had personal things going on in my life. You know, I was out here in the streets. You know what I mean? Like not even just so much as like, oh, I was just out hanging out in the street there. No, I was out here. I didn't have the best foundation. You know, I've had times where I didn't have a crib. You know what I mean? So I got to go out here. I got to hustle to make sure I can have money, and I got to do this and that. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I got kids all at the same time. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what
so
you mean.
The situation wasn't always ideal, but while I was steady kept waiting for the perfect ideal situation, I ended up waiting too long and realized the perfect ideal situation wasn't gonna come. So I just dove in and went for it.
Fucking worked. It's worked. It's worked.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna be real, bro. And I'm gonna be real. I remember the conversation that made it to where it was like, fuck that. I was talking to this man that I was working at this spot. I was talking to the manager. Don't get me wrong, dude was cool, you know what I'm saying? He had been working at this job since he was like 18. You know what I mean? This dude had been working this job. This dude been working this job since he was 18, you know what I mean? So this is what he knew, you know what I mean? He done raised his family off of this job, you know what I mean? He came up from, you know what I mean, what his humble beginnings was and stuff, and he made his way, made a good life for himself through at this job. So he was cool with that. So he looked at me and he was like, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If you were really that good, why are you here? Ooh, like, I'm not trying to be a dick. Like, you know, he's bro.
Yeah.
This is the thing, bro. So this is where a lot of people get messed up or they get held back at because they sensitive as hell. But he was just being real. Like, fuck, if you were that good, if you were really that good, like, you wouldn't be here. I feel like you wouldn't be here. Why are you here? And I'm like, shit, you right. You know what I'm saying? What can you say? What can you really say? You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what? Fuck that. You know what I mean? I say like a week later was my birthday, my 26th birthday. I've been thinking about that shit. I walked out. I just never came back. I was like, I'm done. It's called and set up my pro debut.
I thought you were gonna say it when you first started talking. I thought he was gonna tell you like, you're here, like you're gonna be stuck here forever if you stay here for another 2 years. That's what I thought you were gonna say. Because I've had that happen.
I knew that wouldn't have been the thing. No, because that wouldn't have motivated me, because I knew that wouldn't have been the case, because that job was not, it wasn't like they was cashing me out like that and all of that shit. So I'm like, even if I don't like, that would have never worked with me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he said exactly what he needed to say, how he needed to say it, like, it sound good. Basically, he said, like, it sound good. And yeah, everybody could have been the next Michael Jordan. Yeah, I'm sure. You know
he pulled the you pussy. You're like, you won't do it. You fucking pussy. Yeah, that's literally what he was saying.
He hit me with a good old all right, bro.
It's that's literally what he hit you with.
The real shit hit me with the okay, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're that good.
Yeah.
We'll see about that. You also, one thing I feel like a lot of people don't know, unless you listen to you talk about it, is you've been doing jujitsu the longest in terms of practice martial arts. But couldn't you technically say you've been striking longer, even though it wasn't technically actually striking? You're just fighting in the streets.
I guess, yeah. I guess you could say that. That's really where the striking prowess and shit really come from. I had hands my whole life. I've been putting hands on people since my first knockout was at the age of 2. I asked my mom. I knocked my best friend out when I was 2 because he tried to piss on me.
And since you were 2.
It's like,
granite chins.
That ass, bro. I've knocked hundreds of people out. I'd never be able to keep up with how many people I've really knocked out, to be honest with you. And how many fights I've actually been in. Because like just growing up, that's what it was. Like for people, like when people come up, they be like, oh, I've never been in a fight in my life. I've never punched anybody in my life. That's weird to me. You know what I mean?
I've only been in like 2. I'm on bullshit. I've only been like 2 fights. I think one there was fist thrown. It was over very quick. Never, it was good, but then everyone like pull you away. But it's just kind of neat. Like, so like, I'll be honest.
You only had to get into the fisticuffs one.
Yeah, and then everyone pulled everyone away, and it was just nothing.
I had some of those. I done had full-on brawls where we link up. Some of your people link up. We link up. I go meet somebody. I done pulled up to people's houses. I done went to people's schools. I done did all of that.
All over. No one can run away from those hands. No one can get away from the hands.
So but that's just like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I grew up with 4 brothers and shit too, you know what I mean? So I throw hands with my brothers, all of that. You know what I mean?
Were you the youngest or were you
no? Second the youngest, but I'm the biggest though.
Oh, that helps. I'm gonna say I'm the youngest, so like
I wasn't always the biggest. I became the biggest maybe heading into high school. I outgrew my oldest brother. My oldest brother wasn't the biggest. My second oldest brother was once, which bro, that's my. He had size 16 shoes. His hands were like Shaq size, but he was only like 6'3". So after I shot past, I grew past him maybe like sophomore year.
Oh shit, you were a fast grower then.
Yeah, I shot up between 8th and 9th grade.
I stopped growing. Yeah, I stopped growing when I was in 7th grade. Got 6 foot.
I didn't hit 6'4". I didn't hit 6'4" until after high school though.
So it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but hey, you got there. That's all that matters. And so speaking of the jiu-jitsu thing too, is there a part of you that like, I know you like the mystique of the ground game, but is there a part of you that just wants to submit a guy just to be like, fuck it, I can do it. Like, stop talking about it. I got it all. I got all the tools in the box.
I know my coach would like that. But for me, honestly, you know what I mean, especially after the last fight and shit, you know what I mean? Because in a way, I kind of did want to prove that, you know what I'm saying? And it got me away from what I knew was my most efficient way to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's bro. Just do it. I don't need to prove shit. Just go out there and win. I know I have the tools to win.
Just want to go to path of least resistance. Path of least resistance. Yeah, exactly. Like wrestlers just want to keep a guy on the ground the entire time and not have to worry about shit and just kind of control him. Like path of least resistance. For you, it's just knocking people out stiff. It's just
chill. That's the thing. If I wanted to wrestle fuck somebody, I could do that too. I know how to leech on people too. I know how to latch on to you, wear you out, and beat you the fuck up too. I know how to do that shit too.
Just whatever you want to do. Just how you choose the path. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. So let's go back to the Contender Series fight. I know you got to finish the back half of the second round. Was there a part of you though in that second round you're like, fuck, dude, I got to get a finish if I want this contract? Like, did you feel that pressure? No,
I knew I had landed my mind worked different. It's just about putting it together. Like when I'm in there, when I'm in that mode and I'm in fight mode, I'm just putting it together. You know what I mean? I know it'll come. I don't put any pressure on myself like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. I just take the fight how it comes. I mean, I deal with what the fuck I didn't do and what I did do afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, now I just focus on the fight and focus on what's coming at me. You know what I mean? And what I have open to deal with. I know. And at that time, around the time during Contender Series, that was when I kind of started to build my identity of who I was and what I did to people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like a lot of fighters who, like, I'm gonna be real. I don't, for most fighters that come in, probably other than like a wrestler, they be like, oh, I'll grind you out, I'm a wrestler. But as far as how you truly, truly know who you are as a fighter and how you really, really are top level and you can beat people, that sometimes that don't just click right away. You know what I mean? I've always been a good fighter. I've always been able to do everything. So I just look for openings and then I take advantage of the opening. Now I know what I want to do. Since I know what I want to, I know I want to walk you down. I know I want to beat you up. You know what I mean? I know I want to keep touching you up and break you. You know what I'm saying?
know exactly what
Take
you're
it to
saying.
you. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. So
Yeah.
this is the next question is then like, other than the UFC interviews, have you ever done a single interview without being asked about the suspension or about weed?
Yeah, before it happened.
Well, add me to the list. Add me to the list. I gotta ask. After a fight, is it a fat ass blunt or are you drinking? What's the post fight celebration?
You said what?
You gonna do? Is it a blunt? Or are you smoking weed? Or are you
Both.
getting crossed? Or wait,
Both.
you can get crossed both. All right, I like that
Both.
answer. And I know USADA's kind of a pain in the ass. What was the
They
weird?
really not though.
Not.
Like
I feel like they always come at the worst times.
All right, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I was
I'll
gonna
give you that. They
say.
got some fucked up timing. I ain't gonna lie. Like what was that? They just pulled up on me like not that long ago. A couple weeks ago, they just pulled up on me. But like, I taught class and shit. I just taught a class. I was getting my car out. We had sparred. I was tired. I'm about to leave and shit. You know what I mean? And it's like this lady pulls up. I see her, see me, look at her, right? I'm like, damn, she looks familiar. So I like kind of wave, you know. I'm figuring she probably works at one of the businesses right here by our gym. So I'm just like, okay. She like just kind of stares at me like, I'm not getting it. I was like, I'm gonna put my shit in reverse to go pull off. She steps out. She got the USADA badge. So I had to sit out in front of my gym in like the parking lot for like an hour and a half while I waited to have to go pee.
Oh my god, it's such a pain in the ass.
But yeah, well the thing was like we could have rolled. She said one of them could have rolled with me to my house or whatever, but yeah, I think one of them just like came off of COVID or some shit. So she's like not really cool being around people right now or some shit like that.
That makes sense. Makes
You
sense.
know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, we'd rather not have to do that. So I was like, yeah,
It's cool. You've been through it. You know what it's like. You don't want to have anyone else go through that. Yeah, it sucks. And so with that, you don't have to go hide underneath a cage or anything like that. But when you did test positive or whatever you want to call it, even though you took time off, did you get your win money at least, or did they not pay you the win money? You still get the win money?
You get your win money right out the gate. You get your win money before your test results even come back. What it affects is your bonus. So let's say you knock somebody out and you get a 50. Damn, she tall. Wow. I'm not it's rarely I see chicks that tall. She's like taller than I am.
She's probably a basketball player.
I seen a basketball player this first time I ever seen a dude over 7 foot in like person, bro.
Dude, how fucking tall are they?
Dude, he was huge. Like it's like he was taller than the bar. My man's had to jump down to order drinks and shit because his head was like over the banister, over
God
like
damn.
the little banister thing over the bar.
Straight out of a cartoon. Straight out of a cartoon, dude.
I ain't even asked what his name is. First thing I was like, bro, who you play for? He was like, you Orlando Magic. I was like, had to be somebody. Shit.
I mean, I went to IU, so like I always saw like the basketball players would be over 7 feet. So like I know what you're talking about, dude. They're fucking massive.
Yeah, bro. My man's big as hell, bro.
Like he's
not that awful. We will get that many big boys like that around these parts.
Exactly. So I got one question for you before we go into this thing I call dumb questions.
What was that?
We were fucking show money, win money. If you get
okay.
Yeah.
So no, that shit don't affect your show and win money. You get that money before they even find out about what your test results are. What it does is when you get a bonus, like those $50,000 bonuses, you don't get those right away.
Yeah.
Those come in whenever your test results come out. If you were tested before the fight, after you cleared, if you haven't passed all your drugs and you don't get or nothing like that, they send you a bonus.
Makes sense.
They send you a bonus.
And the worst part is really the 6 months.
You won't get your bonus. You won't get your bonus.
Makes sense. And then the worst is losing the 6 months that you get suspended. Like that's by far
that
the worst
and they
part.
fine you. Don't you? They fine you too.
Yeah. How much do they fine you usually for like a
test? It varies. They fine you like a percentage of your purse.
Okay. So at least at that point it wasn't too high. So it wasn't anything. But for you at the time though,
a few grand is still not. I mean, you just giving somebody over a few grand. I mean, That
Yeah, I
shit still
know.
don't feel good.
It still hurts. It still hurts the bank account.
Free.
It hurts the bank account.
Even if it don't hurt my bank account, I'm not in the business of giving away free money.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. All right. So I got a question. And then after this question, I got a bunch of dumb questions. This is also a dumb question, but like, it's just, I asked really easy stuff that really doesn't take a whole lot of research. But this question is, were you fucking with me when you were offering to buy a laptop for this interview?
Nah, I've been needing to go buy a laptop anyway.
Well, hey, go ahead and go do it. I mean, it's worth it. I don't know what you
Yeah,
need it for, but hey, it makes this shit easier.
Makes a lot of shit easier.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep forgetting to go grab one.
That could have been the excuse. I thought you were fucking with me. It's like, oh my god.
Nah.
All right. So here's my dumb questions. So you're originally from Chicago, but you live in Grand Rapids. Are you a Pistons fan? I know you used to play basketball. Mm-hmm. All aboard the K trade then? The truth? Oh my god.
The Pistons, well, see, it's crazy. Whenever I first moved here, you gotta think I didn't have cable. You know what I'm saying? And that was back whenever the Pistons had they deal with like the local station up here. So that's all I watched. Like that was all I could watch. You know what I mean? I had a knob TV, bro. I was in the 20s and 2000s with a knob TV still. You know what I mean? It was black and white too. You know what I mean? So I only got like 4 or 5 channels. You know what I mean? So I could watch like Fox 17, and then the the WZZM, the other one, that was where the games came on, and then Fox is where like the shows like Friends and shit came on. So that's how I watched that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, bro. It's
Hey, we're all aboard the Pistons. I'm a believer. I like their young talent.
Oh yeah, but I remember. But also, I moved here in what? I moved here in 2003.
Yeah, so that's right before the dynasty.
That was right. That was the year that the dynasty started. You know what I'm saying? So I watched them that year. I watched them win the finals. I mean, didn't realize that they passed on Melo. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
hey, can't win them all. Can't win them all.
Hey, before I was a LeBron, like now, I be wanting LeBron to win almost like every year. All right, but before, I used to hate LeBron, bro. You remember what he did to us?
Yeah.
To get to the finals, bro. I was so fucking mad watching that game. I'm like, bro, y'all can't stop this man at all. The last 25 points by himself? Come on, man.
Young GOAT, or now old GOAT. I mean, he fucked me. I'm a Pacers fan, dude. He fucked us over every year. It's like every year.
He was shitting on us, bro. But we used to beat him, though. We used to beat them, though. You know what I'm saying? Then it was that year, bro. He went nuts, bro. I couldn't do nothing but after I was done with being pissed off you know what I mean, I couldn't help but admire that shit, bro. You know what I mean? I became a fan.
Exactly. You just gotta admit, like, he's just so good. You just gotta admire, like, you're not gonna see this guy forever. Like he's special. Speaking of, do you miss basketball? Do you miss playing basketball?
I still hoop sometimes. I go hoop every Sunday. I usually go hoop every Sunday.
It's not. I would say I miss that. I haven't balled in forever, but do you are you the best player in the UFC though?
Football too. Shit, the longest running, the sport I played the longest was football.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
When you so I know you had an offer to go play basketball in college, but did you not have an offer for football?
Nah, bro. Our football, I never expected to get an offer for football, bro. I won one football game throughout all of high school.
Oh my God, you guys definitely sucked. What position were you? What position were you?
Here's the thing, though. This was fucked up. We didn't suck. Our fucking coaches sucked.
Oh,
yeah. My junior year, we should have went to state. Yeah. We had the talent on that team to go to state. You know what I'm saying? Which actually my running back from that team, you know what I'm saying? He just passed away with cancer. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Jordan Coach, you know what I mean, his family and everything that they going through. You know, but that team we had that year was nasty, bro.
What position were you?
I played linebacker that year. I was an outside linebacker. We ran a 3-5, so I was the edge rusher. But I also whenever we went to like a 3-4 package or shit, I was the strong safety.
I do not want to catch a ball in the middle with you in the safety in the middle.
Bro, you ain't want to have the ball. You ain't want to have the ball when I approached you at all. That was what I did. I just lit people up. That was what made it. That was what made football. That was what made football fun for me while we were losing. You know what I'm saying? It can still be fun, but we were losing was because I was lighting people the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like I still have fun from that sense of just sticking people. I lit so many people up. It was funny.
A lot of CTE.
Yeah, but our coaches didn't know as far as putting people in the right position, the right play calls, like none of that. It was just terrible. You know what I mean? Like our wide receiver group, my junior year, every one of them ran at least a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
We had a spread offense. We ran a spread shotgun offense. Then people talk shit about our quarterback. Our quarterback, my boy Kyle, he in high school he threw a shit ton of interceptions. His mechanics were off. He threw off his back foot a lot. He felt rushed. If he hadn't been, he left and went and play semi-pro. You know what I mean? Actually had some good coaching. Dude lit the whole semi-pro league up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he could throw. He could throw. He was not a bad arm talent. You know what I mean? He just was coached terribly.
See, I thought you were gonna say like the quarterback was like the coach's son who had no business being the quarterback, because that's a very popular thing.
His
that
mom
usually
wasn't really good with the coaches though, so he definitely had the shot on spot on lockdown. But if we talk about best arms, confidence, and what it took to play quarterback, he was the best pick, because even if somebody on the team could have thrown better than him, you never fucking said anything, so you don't have the confidence. You know what I'm saying? You never tried to challenge or nothing.
I know you're saying, yeah.
Only challenge that came was like, bro, I tried to ask if I could play quarterback, you know what I mean, to try to help getting us win. Because honestly, I could do anything. I could throw the ball. And me, I was gonna be out there on my Michael Vick shit. I was gonna make some plays happen. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
that's what it was. I wanted to play receiver. I wanted to play both sides of the ball. You know what I mean? I should have been playing both sides of the ball, but I wasn't. You know, Our defense was solid. Our offense couldn't score. So eventually our defense ended up getting thrashed because we're always out there.
You get an intercept. So you say you have like a 3 and out, throw an interception. They have the ball back now on the 20-yard line, and they're going to score.
My junior year, only one team scored on us in their first 3 possessions.
That's proof the defense was there.
1 or 2. Real talk. And then what was it? I think our 3rd game of the year, that team we played, it was a dog fight. They ended up pulling out and winning and beating us. But that team ended up running the table. They needed to run the table to make the playoffs, and they did.
Oh, fuck!
You know what I'm saying? And this is a team that was like, they weren't better than us like that. Like,
it's just dumb shit. It's just dumb shit that fucked you guys
over. We just lost off little shit, dude. It was just bad. It was
brutal.
Yeah, bro. And then because it's crazy, because before high school, all I did was win championships. You know what I mean? I won my whole life, and then I got to high school, couldn't win a fucking game.
What about in basketball? You guys won in basketball at least?
Yeah, we won. We did our thing. We did our thing basketball. It was I played my freshman year, in my 8th grade year. I didn't play. I missed my sophomore and my junior year. But when I was in 8th grade, I went to this. I got kicked out of the middle schools here. I got kicked out of the middle schools here because just some bullshit. Just like it's a whole lot of story behind that. You know what I mean? But they sent me to high school. So I went to high school in 8th grade, and I played for the basketball team. I was a leading scorer. I was feeding. You know, I averaged like 22 points a game. I was going off. But then freshman year I played. Then I didn't play again until my senior year, which we did good. We did straight all every season I played in basketball.
You're the point guard. Well, are you the best basketball player then in the UFC?
Hell yeah! Who better?
No one.
You know, me and Joseph Benavidez, me and Joey B been trying to talk to him and try to get him to try to get him to set us up a basketball court at the PI.
Ooh. Yeah, have like a one-on-one tournament. There you go. There's some content right there. Easy as hell. Yeah. So here's my next question then for you. How hard is it to eat right with 6 kids?
I don't think the kids have anything. It don't really have much to do with it because I'm gonna be honest, but my kids are picky eaters. All my kids' diets are different. They all eat weird. I mean, so
So you have to have
uh,
everything. Yeah, that makes sense.
it's
Yeah, that
just
makes
hard. It's just hard to do. Period. Because I like different because of the shit that I like to eat.
sense.
Because I grew up eating, the bad habits I've had my entire life. That's just some of the. It's a lot of the thing. A lot of the bad habits I had and I have now are bad habits I had from growing up and shit.
Okay. What's the worst advice you've ever gotten after a fight?
The worst advice I've ever gotten after a fight.
Pull your arm
Huh.
out.
I don't know. I've gotten some pretty shitty advice.
Okay, let's hear one.
Um,
You don't have to say names. Just what was the
I can't
advice?
think, but I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I can't like nothing's pop. I like it's just I know it's just, whenever you've heard dumb shit before, I'm trying to think of something specific.
Like what was it? Like say like the Paul Craig fight. Someone had to come up to you. He's like, dude, why didn't you just pull your arm out?
Yeah, somebody said, why didn't you just stand up? Like this guy, why he's winching on my arm, trying to arm bar me. So
yeah. All right.
I done got some crazy like, oh, you need to go do this. You should probably. I feel like somebody. It wasn't even so much as advice. It was like the reason. Like, what did he say? What the fuck did this dude say to me, dude? He said, it has something to do about something, and it was just like, what the fuck does that have to do with fighting, bro? I forgot what the fuck he said to me though, bro. It was weird. It was funny though. People say all types of weird shit to me. I just kind of block a lot of it out.
Speaking of, what's the worst pronunciation of your name?
I think, man, dude. I think one dude, not just one, a few of them actually. Jamahal.
Oh, Jamahal.
It's like, oh, Jamahal. Jamahal. Yeah, they said Jamahal. I was like, how the fuck did you even come up with that? That shit was funny. Jamahal.
That's gotta be frustrating. Anyway, so
It ain't frustrating. It's just funny and shit. It was like, what the fuck? This has become like a game.
I got a basic name, so I never had to deal with any of that. So I got one more question for you, and it's this. You've been calling out Yuri Prohaska for a while now. He's now set up for the title fight. Who's the next call out after this next alleged fight?
What you mean?
Who's the call out? Who's the new call out? You're not gonna are you gonna keep calling Yuri?
Say that again, bro.
He's gonna keep calling out Yuri. You're gonna call out someone else next since he's
right now it's all about we're gonna have to see the position of the state of the we have to see the state of the division after this next fight. You know what I'm saying? So
you're saying.
We'll have to see where everything is, see who's where, see what I feel like is my best is the best opportunity to get me where I want to be next.
All right. So
yeah, I just gotta see.
Gotta analyze. Gotta pick the right person.
Yeah, but no, don't get it twisted though. I definitely 100% still want the Yuri fight. It's stylistically.
Oh, it's a great fight.
It's fireworks, dude. Yeah, that fight is fireworks. That's money. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, like I'm gonna be real, bro. Like really truly think about this and look inside the details and shit of who gets pushed and who gets put up, who gets set up to with good fights. Look at Sean O'Malley, bro. Has Sean O'Malley fought a wrestler?
No, I think was it Almeida? Was it Almeida supposed to be a wrestler? I have no idea.
No, Almeida is a brawler.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Has he fought a jiu-jitsu guy?
Nope. He hasn't fought anyone.
He's fought a judo guy.
Nope.
Brawler, striker, striker, right?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because his stand-up, his style, his best traits come out. His best show comes out in the stand-up. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Who else? Let's see. Who else?
Connor kind of got that when he was on his right way up. He fought a ton.
Oh yeah, bro. That's another prime example I like to see. Conor didn't fight a wrestler or a grappler until he was fighting for the UFC interim belt.
Yeah, exactly.
Chad Mendez came in on what, a week, 2 weeks notice?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's look at me. All right. Obviously, I like to throw hands. I do everything. You know what I'm saying? But the best show, you saw it in my debut. You saw it in my debut. Best show comes out on the feet. You saw it in my first 3 fights. Best show comes out on the feet. But even with those, right out the gate, judo fighter. Stotic was a judo fighter and a wrestler. Jiu-jitsu guy. Abreu was a jiu-jitsu guy.
Mm-hmm.
OSP, the most submissions in the division history. Paul Craig, a BJJ grappler. Jimmy Crute, a wrestling grappler. A wrestling jiu-jitsu guy. It's funny.
It just was like,
funny,
what the?
bro.
Oh my god! Then there's so many strikers like heavyweight division you could fight too. It's not like there's not a whole lot you can pick from. It's just,
You know what I mean? And then not only that, think about it like this. I have that last fight was my 10th professional fight. Go and look at the number of fights the total fights my opponents have had. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like Sean O'Malley hasn't fought anybody inside the top 15. Don't get me wrong, I'm not tripping about fighting inside the top 15. But at the same time, though, he had time to build his brand before he got there. You know what I mean? Because for a minute, that's what I thought. That's what I was told that was going to happen. I was going to build a brand. The next thing I know, I got offered number 10 in the world. He turned it down. Then I got offered number 15. You know what I'm saying?
And you're going to take that any day because you want to fight through the rankings. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, they're grapplers. Like you're not offering me nobody to really show. I mean, you're not offering me a fight that's gonna sell like that. You know what I mean? I gotta neutralize whatever lazy boring techniques or whatever he's trying to do to try to keep the fight boring, and I gotta try to make the fight exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than just giving somebody another exciting fight that we can just make this fight exciting.
So spin zone though, there's a lot of stuff you could use in a striking fight that you haven't really needed to showcase yet.
Right.
So you got some hidden tools
that I'm not going to do because I know if somebody just wants to take me down and shit, certain things I'm not going to do.
Exactly.
I'm not going to throw a spinning kick on somebody I know just wants to grab me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Some hidden tools you don't have to use yet. So at least there's a spin zone. At least there's some upside to it, but really no upside.
Yeah,
because...
don't get me wrong. This is not. I'm not complaining. I'm not tripping. I'm just pointing out what I noticed. You know what I'm saying? Certain people get a leg up to get hyped up a certain way.
I know what you mean. Hey, I know I got you. I know exactly what you're trying to say. Yeah. I know exactly what you're trying to say, my man. So
that's why I said Yuri Prohashkov. Because here's the thing. They came in right out the gate. And what did they do? They gave Yuri Volkan Oezdemir. Volkan's not shooting for no takedowns, bro.
No, he's not.
And he's not, bro. I'm gonna be real. His striking is not good. Volkan don't have no fucking hands, bro. People they boosted Volkan up. They boosted Volkan up, talking about all this and that. No, he's got some good knockouts, and he is a solid fighter. But he's not like I don't look at him as no like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they can say whatever. They could try to run a fight with that or whatever. Try me. You know what I'm saying? But for them to bring him in right off the street, jump him up to number 8 because he knocked out Volkan Oezdemir, which Volkan Oezdemir got boosted up for a fight with Daniel Cormier to give Daniel Cormier legitimacy after he lost to John Jones and to get the belt back. You know what I'm saying? Volkan Oezdemir wasn't no legit title challenger. You know what I mean? What could he do? He didn't have no elite. Is his wrestling elite? Like, oh shit, if he gets you down, you're fucked. Is his hands like, oh shit, you gotta watch out with this or you fuck. It's the same basic thing. You gotta watch out for a punch. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do that with any fucking body. You know what I'm saying? There's no specific real all right, he does this at one of the highest levels you've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? He don't do none of that shit.
I know exactly what you mean.
For them to go in and give him Yuri, and then Yuri's got his hands now, like how he holds his hands, which I know exactly why he fights, why he has his hands, why he has all of that. It's flow, bro. Flow is more important in fighting than people really, really know. And that's what he fights with. He fights with flow. I fight with that shit too. And I do it 10 times better than he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they poking Ustamir, and then you give him Reyes. Reyes is a brawler. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw him two brawlers, coming off of losses and shit, and now he's ready for a title shot. Shit, hey, if that's what it is, that's what it is, bro. If I can get that fight with him and it be a title shot, that just make me a legend. Because there's no way he beats me.
And there we go. That could be it. That could be the rise.
Because here's the thing, and this is how I know. Because and they're gonna approach it like, oh, he's gonna knock me out. It's like he's gonna come out and trying to knock me out is one of the worst things you can do. It's gonna get you fucked up. It's gonna get a lot of people in this division fucked up, thinking that they can knock me out. You know what I mean? That was a good thing about Paul Craig. Paul Craig understood I can't knock this dude out.
He went straight for the ground right away.
You know what I'm saying? I can't knock this dude out. I know he knew where his path to victory was. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. Yep. It's they don't want those hands. They don't want them hands.
And I'm gonna be real. And part of them putting me in these matchups and everything, and people not seeing it, it helps because they don't understand. They're not seeing and they don't really understand the level that really exists right here when they come to that shit.
As a gambling man, I love it too because then I can just keep betting on you. So it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I bet on your last fight. I was, you know what? Not a whole lot you can do on that one, but
right.
I'm gonna bet on you again. Don't worry. I believe. I'm a believer. So with that said, though, man, like, crushed the interview. This is awesome. If there's anything you want to promote, go ahead and promote it.
Y'all can follow me on IG, sweet_dreams_J Hill. Put me up on Twitter, Jamahal H. Shout out to my sponsors, Lizard Licked Apparel, Next Day Construction. Want to give some love to Lean and Fresh, Fresh and Lean. They've been shooting me the meals, helping me with my diet and things like that. Some really good stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah, my peoples, man. Shout out to my people. Shout out to Sweet Dreams Nation. Everybody supporting me, man. I appreciate all y'all.
All right. So that's it for me, Jamal. We're out. Peace.
All right, bro.